What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. And today I bring you another episode of Versus. This is probably the best episode, or the best two knives I could do in an episode of Versus. These two are like they are competing with each other. If you're looking at one of these knives, you're probably also looking at the other knife. Very similar price range, very similar size, both axis locks. If you ask me, I would say they were made to compete with each other, honestly. This is the Bestechman Ronan, and this is the CMB Made Knives Predator V2. And we're going to talk about the two knives, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, which one I think is better, and go from there. First, let's go over the specs of each and the price of each. Okay. Let me separate these here. I've got them both open, but they're over top each other, and that's not good. We gotta separate. All right. All right. Here we go. All right. The Predator is 7.87 inches long. The Ronan is 7.91 inches long. The blade length on the Predator is 3.42 inches. The blade length on the Ronan is 3.26 inches. Blade thickness are both 138 thousandths. They are both 14C 28N blades still. They're both on cage ceramic ball bearings. The Predator weighs 4.65 ounces. The Ronan weighs 4.37 ounces. The Predator comes in micarta and the Ronan comes in G10. There are multiple colors of both, multiple blade finishes on both. And the price on the Predator is $65, $70, depending on which one you get and where you get it. And the Ronan, the price on it is, it started out at like the same price, but now I've seen them for as low as like $52, $53, and I think there's a reason for that, which we'll discuss in a minute. First, let's talk ergos. Which one has better ergos? Also, let's show the thickness of the two, because one is definitely a little bit thicker than the other. The Ronan is a little bit thicker than the Predator V2, as you can see there. Both have contoured scales. All right, ergonomics. The Predator's ergonomics, they're good. They're really good. Micarta feels nice, although with this micarta is a little on the slick side. I do have to say that, but not like overly slick, but you do notice it. Ergos are really good on both. Pocket clip is reversible on the Predator, so lefty friendly, and it isn't on the Ronan, which with an axis lock is kind of silly. So if you're a lefty, you definitely want to go with this one. But if that's not important to you, then and you like it just to look good on the show side and not have that cut out, then maybe you prefer the Ronan. But ergos are really good on the Predator. Yeah, really good. But the ergos on the Ronan are better. I'm going to give the ergos to the Ronan for sure, because of the way they've done the scale here. This little, right here, all these little notches they've kind of put in there. For a medium-sized hand, it just fits me like a glove, man. It really does. It feels so comfortable in my hand. Got some nice jimpiness in the perfect spot. This one is very comfortable. It just doesn't, I don't feel as locked in with this as I feel with this. I feel just locked in here. I don't feel no hot spots on either, although I can feel the pocket clip back here on this one, right here on my hand. I don't think it's going to be a hot spot. It's just I do notice it there. Same for the Ronan. I do feel this little tip of the Ronan too, which I don't feel it on the Predator for some reason. But I don't think it's going to be a hot spot. It's not terrible. It's not like indenting my hand. You know, I can feel it. I know it's there, but I don't think it'd become a hot spot. Action-wise, that's where there's a big difference here. Both of these have decent action right now, but what I got to tell you about the Ronan is this thing came with the stiffest springs I've ever felt on an axis lock. And I left it sitting. I've fidgeted with it a lot. I've left it sitting out of my desk a lot, like this, to try to break the springs in, and it's gotten a whole lot better. But it took weeks of just sitting out, and, you know, weeks of fidgeting and weeks of letting the springs have tension on them like that for it to get here. Out of the box, it was painful to pull this back. It actually hurt my index finger and my thumb to pull it back, but now it's become very smooth, very, very smooth. The CMB Predator, it was not that stiff, not even close, but it is on the stiffer side out of the box compared to, say, a drop bear or a bug out or a griptilian. Actually, a griptilian and an RSK is what these two knives are really made to compete with on the more premium made in the USA side. These are both in that size range of a full-size griptilian and the full-size Ritter RSK. So I don't own either one of those. I wish I did, but unfortunately I don't, to give you a size comparison. But these are both on that, you know, that's the size and the knives that I would say they're competing with on the American side of things. Neither of these have action anywhere remotely close to as good as an RSK or a Griptilian. Although I don't have either of them here, I have had them here in the past. People have sent them in for me to check them out or for knife sales. And the action on the Griptilian and the RSK are better than both of these knives. Action-wise right now, they're about equal. Out of the box, the Predator is much better. I did have a little lock stick with this one out of the box also, but it went away pretty quickly. The lock stick did. I don't know if maybe some oil got up in there. I did clean up on the tang of the blade where the lock bar catches right there. I cleaned out some rubbing alcohol and that seemed to help, but I maybe it got some oil on it. I don't know, but it's gone now. Yeah, they both have very similar action now, but out of the box, the Predator is definitely going to be better. Plus, the crazy thing is the ergos feel better on this, but I much prefer the feel of the micarta. Man, if they do this one in micarta, it would be so nice. Very similar knives, man. Very, very similar. If I didn't know better, I'd say they're made at the same factory. One thing I do want to point out is the plunge grind. With the Ronan, you don't have much to sharpen off. That plunge flattens out right about where my thumbnail's at right there. So you don't have much to sharpen before you're going to get a smile. The Predator, though, you're going to sharpen this for the rest of your life and probably never get a smile. I mean, you got a good, I don't know, almost quarter inch there. You can come up the blade, sharpen it before you're going to hit the plunge at all. Both of them have very good thumb studs, but I would say that the Predators feel a little better. Nah, take that back. Yeah. These have like a stepped pattern on them, and they're not painful, but they're a little sharper. These have a step pattern also, but it's not as sharp, but you get plenty of traction on it. So I think I prefer the thumb studs on the Predator, but it's very close. Both these knives are very close. One thing a Predator doesn't have that the Ronan does have is jimping right there where your thumb lands, and it's placed perfectly, you know. Yeah, it's perfectly placed. It works well. This one has no jimping. Backspacers are the same material as their scale materials. Very, very similar knives. Very similar. And if I could only pick one, which one would I pick? This crazy thing is I like this better now, but what you have to go through with this, it's kind of ridiculous how bad. And I've had two of these here, just FYI. I had a black one also, which went in the knife sale. And this one's going to be a giveaway knife, but I didn't want to give it away until I had it kind of where it was working good and functioning good like it is now. I didn't want to give it away with that, you know, the springs being a stiff. So I like them. Like, it's hard for me to pick on this one. I like the ergos better on this and the jimping. I like the micarta better on this. The thumb studs better on this. The action just a little bit better on this. This was a little lighter weight, so I like that. I'm gonna call it a tie, guys. I can't pick a winner between these two. You know, I guess if you can find these for 50 bucks and these are 65 or 70, you may want to go with this. But at the time of looking on White Mountain Knives, I think all these are out of stock. They do have these on stock. 65 plus you get 10% off that, so you can get it for you know, $58, somewhere in that range. So yeah, not bad. And sometimes you can find them cheaper on Amazon, so I'll link them both down below. But yeah, you can't go wrong with either of them. I'm going to give you a couple size comparisons of a couple other knives just so you get a good idea on the size of these. First we'll start with a Kaiser drop bear. So they're quite a bit bigger than a drop bear. Then we will do a Benchmade bug out. Lengthwise, a little bit longer than the bug out. Both are quite a bit thicker than the bug out. Drop bear is closer in thickness. Here's a SOG Terminus XR. Could be quite a bit larger than the Terminus XR. I wish more companies would use tabs like this on their crossbar locks. They work so well. Here's a Gonzo FB760. has better action than both of these knives. Better action than both of them. But 440C, you know, it's made a little cheaper. But yeah, the action's definitely better on the Gonzo than both of them. And here's a Manix 2. Although not an access lock, functions the same way for the most part. About the same size as a Manix 2. So that'll give you guys a good idea on the size of both. Honestly, both are great knives right now for the money. But know that when you get this one, it's going to take some time to break it in. And but it will get better over time if this is the one you prefer. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all on the next one.